I'm sad. What up, Nerd Squad? Welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Connor Monroe, and today we're getting our thinking hats on and going through some theories you definitely want to hear. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit like and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd and ring the notification bell to join the squad. Also, be sure you're sticking around until the end because I'm going to be reading out your comments. Okay, now let's get started with this list of the top 10 scary Joker fan theories. Intro time. Number 10, Joker takes place in Flashpoint. User Fritzen8805 on Reddit seems to think that DC is trying to set up a Flashpoint universe on the silver screen. If you don't already know, Flashpoint is a universe that was created when Barry Allen, aka The Flash, ran back in time and stopped his mother from being murdered. This caused a whole bunch of changes, making the DC universe to be darker for a time. Batman was a killer and Thomas Wayne, The Flash didn't have his powers, and Aquaman and Wonder Woman had an affair and then went to war. Typical stuff, you know. This theory says that the Joker movie is intended to take place in this universe, since it seems to be darker and grittier than the normal DCEU. This could make sense, with the rumors of a Flashpoint movie constantly going around. It would work if they ever wanted to incorporate it. The theory suggests that at the end of the movie, Joker will be killed by Batman, showing him as a Batman who isn't afraid of killing. However, the Joker in Flashpoint is Bruce Wayne's mother, so that throws a wrench into things. But maybe the parents are gay, who knows? Number 9, he has super sanity. The Joker is generally seen as crazy and chaotic, but perhaps he does what he does because he knows what's going on. What if he is so sane, in fact, that he knows he's in a comic book or movie and he knows his actions have no consequences? What about if he knows his existence relies on Batman appearing, so he becomes obsessed with Batman since without him, he doesn't exist? He also knows that killing Batman is impossible because the writers simply won't let him die. Maybe the Joker is the only sane character in the whole DC universe because he knows the real story. He has no confirmed past because without one he is easier to bring back in another form, and he knows this. He wants to continue living for as long as possible, and that's why he does the crazy things he does, to be featured. Number 8, he's immortal. Based on another backstory from the Joker, in Batman Endgame, the Joker is revealed to have come into contact with the meteor that gave Vandal Savage his immortality, and that in essence created the Lazarus Pit. He encountered the meteor before Gotham was built, and has been living ever since. What if this is why Batman was never able to kill him? Not because of his one rule, but because of Joker's superpower. What if, instead of the meteor, he got this power from knowing he's in a comic, thus giving him perfect control over the outcome of his story? Or knows that the writers won't kill him off because he's such a popular character? These two theories work in tandem if you think about it in the right way. And if Joker is immortal, it would explain things like the Injustice game story, where he is much more difficult to defeat because of a, as he calls it, happy pill. It could just be his normal immortality being used, but he just makes it seem like it was the pill everyone else took. There are more layers to this theory than you know, so if you know any other things that would be explained by this, let me know in the comments. Number 7, he's Jason Todd. Okay, put out your torch and put the pitchfork down, it's just a theory. A Joker theory. In Suicide Squad, Joker is covered in tattoos, one of which is a bird, the same one that symbolizes Robin. The tear on his cheek is actually a J, which could also stand for Jason rather than Joker. The fact that Joker has left a message for Batman on Robin's old suit in Batman v Superman, the fact that Joker holds his cane in a similar fashion to how Robin's suit holds his lance in Batman v Superman, the bullet holes on the suit in Batman v Superman matching up with the strange marks on Jared Leto's shoulders in Suicide Squad, the evidence adds up. And there is the fact that every Robin, aside from Damian Wayne, has become the Joker at some point. It might include Damian Wayne, I'm not too sure about it. But if he's become the Joker before, he can become the Joker again. Number 6, the Joker and Batman are brothers. Fans seem to think that in the Nolanverse, the Joker and Batman are brothers. What if Thomas and Martha Wayne had another child, but he had severe mental disabilities, so they gave him up to give him his best chance. Then he breaks out of wherever he's kept and finds out he has a brother, and a filthy rich brother at that. Angry that his parents loved his brother more than him, he does more digging and figures out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So he dedicates himself to becoming a part of his brother's life and showing him that he is worth something. He hopes Batman kills him to prove that at least he's better than his brother, because even the Joker wouldn't kill his own brother. Remember, on Earth 3, there is Batman's evil counterpart, Owlman, who is Thomas Wayne Jr., Bruce Wayne's older brother, who after watching his mother and brother die, ends up turning to crime. Where's the Earth Prime Thomas Wayne Jr.? He's Thomas Wayne Joker. That was bad. Halfway through at number 5, he didn't kill Bruce's parents. The 1989 film Batman brought together the backstories of the Joker and Batman, causing the Joker to be the one who killed Bruce's parents. However, in Batman Year 2, it was revealed that Batman's parents were killed by a criminal named Joe Chill, and Batman goes to hunt him down. So if this is to remain canonical, why does Batman think the Joker did it in the film? Perhaps because Batman needs a reason to hate the Joker for more than being just a menace. Or perhaps he did it to justify why he hates him so much, and by defeating the Joker, he can get some form of closure. This could make sense since being Batman would obviously take a toll on someone's mental health. Perhaps this is Batman's way to cope with the loss, since he's still not over it because they keep rehashing it in every incarnation. Martha! Number 4, he's a recruit of the League of Shadows. The Joker in The Dark Knight never had his backstory revealed, and since everything in the Nolanverse seems to be connected, maybe Joker trained at the same place Bruce did, but failed the final rite and the drug that was created with the flower ripped his mind to shreds. Maybe his greatest fear was clowns and that's why he becomes one and waits for his chance to kill Ra's al Ghul, but he never gets the opportunity because Bruce does it first. Maybe this causes the Joker to see Batman as both his enemy and his ally, for taking his kill but taking out his greatest enemy as well. This could be why he doesn't kill Batman, because he appreciates it. So perhaps there is more of a connection here than we know. It would also explain the Joker's fighting skills as well as his strategy. League of Shadows or League of Assassins, depending on what version you look at. Number 3, the real Joker and Joker. The Joker solo film comes out very soon, or is out now depending on when this is being watched. One theory floating around is that the Joker we see in the movie is not the real Joker, merely the inspiration for the real Joker. This Joker goes crazy and commits crimes like usual and is captured and sent to Arkham, where everyone thinks he's mad, but one person finds him inspiring. That person becomes the Joker towards the end of the film, and that's how the movie ends. Perhaps inspiring a kid to become the next Joker, since the age gap between the Joker and Bruce Wayne is larger than normal in this movie. Perhaps inspiring the Jason Todd of the DCEU, and after being betrayed by Batman, finally chooses to become his original inspiration. All these theories interlock, man. Number 2, he was killed by Batman. Batman famously has one rule that he will never break, but also breaks quite a lot. He won't kill unless he isn't doing it directly. One theory, however, thinks that in Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, after the Joker has broken James Gordon and mentally tortured Batman, that he ended up breaking him too, causing bats to either snap his neck or crush his neck. The final panels of The Killing Joke show Batman and the Joker laughing at Joker's final joke. I'm saying joke a lot. Then Batman's hands get close to the Joker's neck, and then the laughter cuts off. In the animated version, this gets bumped up, with Batman resting his hands below the Joker's throat while laughing hysterically, and as the camera pans down, the Joker suddenly stops laughing, and Batman continues on. People might have originally assumed the Joker was confused as to why Batman was laughing so much, but maybe that's not the reason. Maybe he's dead. Finally, at number 1, Joker is Bruce's nurse. So you may have heard this theory before, it's been going around for a while, but basically what it's saying is that Bruce Wayne, after the death of his parents, was brought into a mental hospital to help him deal with the trauma. But instead of getting better, he created a world in his mind to retreat into. The villains he faces are the nurses in the hospital, Joker and Harley are nurses who are dating, Killer Croc has a crocodile tattoo, and Two-Face loves flipping coins. I personally love this theory because instead of a big, strong, brave man who is protecting his city, it shows a hero as someone who needs saving, and it helps to show the harsh reality of going through something that would be so traumatic. This is something that can happen in reality, and it has been done in movies and other media before, so why not in Batman? I mean, Harley was a psychiatrist, right? Perhaps that's the only thing he can remember about his past life, and that's why it's her backstory. There we have it, nerds, the top 10 scary Joker theories. What are your thoughts on these theories, and do you think any of these can be true? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you hit like and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd on your way down. While you do so, I'm going to read out some comments from the top 10 superheroes who hate their alternate versions list. Cody LeDuc says, does that even make sense? Well, it's a Flash story, so no. I mean, in all honesty, most Flash plots make sense in my mind, but the whole sacrificing yourself thing I can't really get behind, unless it's to Cthulhu. Or Talos. Crimson Scar Gaming says, honestly, Batman kills more than I would like. Honestly! I mean, if he doesn't kill, why are so many people dying because of him? Him killing is supposed to be a very rare thing, but it looks like he kills every other Wednesday. Jeez, Batman, shape up. Chase Halliday said, I see the Area 51 raid was successful. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been human my whole life. John Doe says, hi Mr. Connor. So, got any puns? What concert costs 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure you hit like and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd. You know the deal. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.